This is man high. Like this. Slide. When you down, the people kick you. When you up, the bitches lick you. Chill dogs don't wanna have to mic and Vick you. Stash the work inside the asshole of a pit bull. Cause getting money shit is simple. You got my hand like Mike Jack's glove. Lung filled with blood, gold bullets in the snub. Old and Jewish on the rug, young and Spanish on my bitch. Quick to vanish on the bricks in the trap 6 cockpit. Hammers getting lift. Bite beef that was aged inside the basement. Smoke a floral arrangement, baby, I'm dangerous. The silver soup spoon is gracious. Place it on your tongue and taste it. Numb your face like the bass did. Catch me sliding and they always call me Safe Kid. Blue drop like a spaceship. Who's hot, you not, you just basic. Lace you up just like my favorite pair of Asics. Winter time, switch to climate warmer. Also change the type of music that I'm rhyming over. My bitch thick like John Lovitz. Pure virgin blooded blondes with the God covers. Down the people kick you when you up, the bitches lick you. Chill dogs don't wanna have to mic and Vick you. Stash the work inside the asshole of a pit bull. This getting money shit is simple. You got me rhyming in French, long removed from climbing the fence, dipping cops, getting high on the bench, iron defense, briefcase, handcuffs, stand up, M5, flying like a tan duck, Tandoori half moons in my haircut, serving work to Danny Tanner, smooth percussion, coke inside the pan just like a muffin. Enjoying puffing at the luncheon. Shit, behind the back pass on Vetus a bonus. Rare intelligence, you know I'm smoking weed and diplomas. Catch a case, post bail, then I flee to Tacoma. Come back, new face, 103 in Corona. Jackson Heights plastic surgery, Colombian rooftop, botch attempts at the burglary. Got my eyes open certainly, allow me to go exotic on the curtain. When you down, the people kick you. When you up, the bitches lick you. Chill dogs don't wanna have to mic and Vick you. Stash the work inside the asshole of a pit bull. It's getting money shit is simple.
Just give me what you can't give back. Just give me, why don't you give me the world? Give me what you can't give back. Random song of thought. If you don't know what song that is, that's Nas featuring AZ or AZ featuring Nas. Anyway, yo, check this out. I hope you guys like viewed the title or whatever. Like before I went ahead and I wanted to make this video tonight, yo. Like it's one of those type of things. Shout outs to all the bros in the chat. Shout outs to those who's listening right now. Appreciate you guys. But yo, like this week, and what inspired me, it's like everything comes in due timing, right? Because obviously, you know how I always do my Brownstone Powwows and this, that, and the third, and I'm just like, okay, cool. Like, I mean, I don't really care to be mentioned in this space or whatever it's called. I don't care. Like, I'm just here because I'm making content for like-minded brothers, and especially young brothers that need to learn, you know, look, this is how you can maneuver through society. It doesn't matter if you was raised by a single mom, if you was raised with both parents and this, that, and third. We got a lot of fixing to do as men, right? So it's like, for me, it's like, look, I got it. Look, the little history. I got inspired to even do stuff like this because I was already doing a couple of things off the YouTube scene. But I said, freak it. Let's go ahead and create this YouTube page because I feel like I have something to offer to the table. And I think that my perspectives would give brothers an alternative views from certain things, right? So I said, fuck it. Let's just create the YouTube channel. I'll do it. I really don't care for like how many, I mean, loosely, I don't care for the views because I care about the work ethic. And I proved to myself that I work very hard in everything that I do and that I really take this seriously. And I say, hey, maybe the subscriptions is going to build up. I mean, shit, one of my videos did like 1.4K. I'm still happy about that. You know what I mean? Because my obviously one of a certain amount of my messages is getting out there. You know what I mean? So I'm like, I'm not too crazy. I'm not crying wolf because my damn, like, my videos is not getting past a certain number. It is what it is. The work ethic is, I'm putting that work ethic in. You know what I'm saying? So I'm happy about that. But going to what I want to talk to tonight, it's just a lot of bullshit I've been seeing with brothers lately. This week, I mean, obviously, and I bet you, by the time I mention what panel this is, a lot of brothers that's listening in knows exactly what I'm talking about. Before I even get into that, if you view on this title, the New York Senate has passed a bill in which they want to regulate music, right? They want to regulate rap music, drill music, with the whole entire thing that's happening with the Brooklyn drill scene. But then besides that, they also want to adhere to, or I guess wants to do this in order to decrease the likelihood of these crimes that's going on in New York City, because New York City is having a lot of crimes going on. I think just yesterday, some woman got stabbed on a 1 train in Washington Heights. And then like somebody got shot in Hell's Kitchen today. And then somebody ran their car into a damn building in Queens. So, I mean, like, goddamn, like, it's just too much shit going on at once. Eric Adams has only been mayor for a month, right? And so you have a lot of this, and then cops is being shot at. So someone always told me, my friend always told me this. He was like, yo, New York City is the true Gotham City, yo. And I'm like, yo, I mean, I feel like that is facts, though, right? So, yeah, man. I heard about that. You know what I mean? Yeah. Sleep in peace to that dude. But it's just getting too crazy out here. And it's just like, it's a lot of angles I'm trying to touch tonight because I like when we get into the conversations about rap music per se, drill and all this other stuff, it's like too many angles you can hit with it. It's like at 1 minute you could sit up there and you could say, oh, rap music is to blame while all these shootings is going out in the streets, right? But then I'm just like, okay, music is one influence, but I wouldn't say that's the end all be all. I mean, I would say it's the media and the programming that's, you know, causing the rift and the problems between so-called black men, especially young so-called black boys. Because a lot of these dudes that's committing crimes is like in their early 20s. There was even a video about how there was like some house party and these kids came into the building with guns drawn and they shot at dude in the elevator while he was with his girl. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, God damn. But before I even get into that, I have to do a shred of low blow, dumbass goddamn topics brothers decided to have this week, in which we had into this whole entire bullshit about the fucking Pookie and Ray Ray dumb shit. You understand? That was stupid as fuck when I looked at that panel this week, and you got two grown-ass men that's in their goddamn 50s sitting there talking about no goddamn Pookies and Ray Rays versus educated lames. Are you kidding me, bro? Like, yo, I swear, peace to Shakadu. Yo, I did see that video too, bro. Shout outs to Homeboy for doing the review. I didn't even know he was gonna pull up that clip, but now he knows exactly. I'm really, you know, I'm out here on the streets. You dig? Not gonna lie, bro. They should allow us to carry arms. Yes, but in New York State, they just have tougher gun laws than compared to other states. You know what I'm saying? So it's harder for you to get a license in New York State when it comes to a gun permit. But I would advise for it too, because my thing about it is that, yo, with all this crime that's going on, I don't want to be a victim when I get on a train, you know, going to work, minding my own business, and this, that, and the third, and some dude just want to get all fucked up. You know what I'm saying? You want to start with me in this, that, and third, because there's been plenty of knuckleheads that started with me before on a train, trying to look for a reason to beef with me when I get off of work and this, that, and the third, and they looking for a reason to beat me up and stuff like that. I'd be like, yo, chill, bro. Like, I'm not with the shits, but you know, I will defend myself if I need to. You know what I'm saying? And you know, dudes be like, yeah, I want to fight somebody tonight. You know what I mean? And then you have all those knuckleheads, those special patients that ride the train and stuff like that. It becomes a cesspool for craziness. And then, especially because dumbass, I'm not going to even say dumb, but Mr. Joe Biden wants to go ahead and talk about racial equality, equity, and sit up there and talk about how he wants to give out crack to so-called black people. Do you understand what it's going to be like traveling? Like, I've seen some crazy shit on the train. I've seen people smoke K2, smoke weed, sit up there and do crack openly on a train with a spoon and syringes. All right. I've seen that. I've seen that on a lot of different occasions. I've seen a woman do crack on a 2 train like 3 a.m. So believe you me, I like, come on, bro. Like, I've seen too many things happening, and Joe Biden wants to do that. And I'm just like, really though? Like, what's your angle on that? To decrease infections? But then Mayor de Blasio wanted to sit up there and talk about how it was going to be one of those type of things where he wanted to create centers where people can go ahead and do drugs in peace. Well, you're aiding in their dysfunction. You're not exactly helping them with the right treatments. Because to have an addiction is serious, right? It's not one of those sort of things where somebody can just, like, you're aiding in it. So how do you know they're going to overdose? How do you know they're going to sit up there and just be able to maturely do the drug and then they're fine and then nothing else is going on? Come on, man. I'm not buying the tomfoolery, none of that. But getting back to what I wanted to talk about tonight. The reason I wanted to bring up this topic tonight and why I think it's very important, right? Well, not really very important, right? There's a ad I put into this, right? I was about to say put a caveat in it, but maybe that's not the right word. So when we talk about the so-called Pookies and Ray Rays, right, versus the educated lame, why do I know this? Because let's just be real. That stream was, I believe, on Obsidian, and then you had that dude Dennis Sperling, and so I'm sitting up there viewing that because it was the hot topic of the week. Then they have the whole entire thing where they're drafting the Senate bill in New York State to talk about creative control, which in hindsight, low key, I believe this is also freedom of speech being tested, right? I think that for a second, but let's just get back into this whole entire thing with Obsidian and Dennis Sperling for a second. So the Pookies versus the educated lames made me think about the incels and how they go so hard about talking about the whole entire thing with Chad and how Chad gets all the women And because he's a square and he's a nerd, he doesn't have the opportunity to get women just like he does. So transfer that into so-called black men, how the so-called Pookie and Ray Ray, aka the degenerate, the derelict, the one that goes around the hood and he doesn't do anything with himself. He feels as if he needs to go on the backhand and sit up there and sell drugs and do all these different things to be where he needs to be to get that cash money. Versus the educated lame, I guess the one that's like the Steve Urkel, the one that's like not like the Pookie and Ray Ray. He doesn't dress like the Pookie and Ray Ray. He doesn't act like the Pookie and Ray Ray. I'm so tired of these conversations, bro. You don't even understand. That's why I'm trying to figure out to myself, trying to die down on these conversations and give y'all real more talk about stuff that we should be moving towards too, right? Like I can't help you out with tech. I can't help you out with certain things, but I can give you short little history lessons or just perspectives that I think is very important for us brothers to understand. Shout outs to Real Talk with Mimsy Limbs. Shout outs to her. She does definitely do some great YouTube videos on the Bible, and I definitely be tuning in. Definitely some dope stuff. But going to what I was saying, so you have these two older gentlemen that's arguing with this woman. I believe her name is Atari. And on this panel, I'm just sitting up there listening. And I'm like, well, to me, women like Atari are finished. There's no way of trying to have a conversation with a woman who already made her mind up, right? With a woman who already knows exactly the type of man she wants. If she wants that so-called Pookie and Ray Ray, let her have it. Those are the type of women that I avoid. You understand me? I'm not going to even waste my time dealing with women like that. And then the women that's so quick to call you a dusty and call you all these names and all this other stuff. I mean, men, when do you come to a different perspective? You feel what I'm saying? Dudes out here talking about, oh, I'm a high value man and this, that, and the third. It don't mean shit if your personality does not match your class. And that's one thing that brothers seem to miss. You could be a high value man that's earning over 100K a year. Your personality is shit. That means you shit. You understand? And the thing about it is I'm listening and I'm like, these dudes go right back into the pro-black talk. They go right back into it. They go right back into sit up there trying to make deals with Keishas, as I always say. They never sit up there and try to say, look, listen, we ain't going to even waste no time with a shorty like this. We're going to go ahead and move to a different perspective. Because this woman right here is not helping our cases at all. You feel me? And so I'm listening to it and I'm just like, I'm just really disappointed that these are supposed to be the big wigs that people are supposed to pay attention to. I can't pay attention to the fuckery. I can't. Like as grown men, we have to set an example. I don't care. And this is when I say race doesn't matter on this perspective. I'm saying you have to set an example, especially if you're older. When you're older, you do better. When you know better, you do better. But when you're older, you usually know how to do better because you've had experience. You've been around the block. You've been able to sit up there and sit up there and know exactly how to move and know how to communicate with people. When I do stupid shit like argue on panels, I reflect. I sit up there and say, I don't want this to be Bronzebird. I want me to be peaceful. I don't even care if homegirl or homeboy got that footage of me arguing with such and such and this, that, and third. I don't want to even do all that no more. It's corny, yo. I don't even want to argue because it doesn't, what is it doing for me? And I don't even be mad. But then I watch the replay and I'm just like, I don't even like the fact of the matter that I argue with this person who's negative in general. You know what I'm saying? So I'm over that. You know what I mean? I'm just saying. So Kanan Wild says, what about the Kia table talk? That's always something dudes is always talking about. They always talk about that dumb shit. What do you bring to the table? What do you bring to the table? You know what I tell them? You know what I bring to the table? Food for myself and some drinks. You understand what I'm saying? When I'm hungry and I'm thirsty, that's what I bring to the table. If you want some, you can have some. The food that I cooked up, this is the food that I cooked up. You want some? I'll make you a plate. You can have a hot plate of Bronzebird's cooking if you want to know what I bring to the table, goddamn. But don't be sitting up there asking me, don't be asking no questions like what you bring to the table. I'm so sick and tired of that stupid ass like what the hell that bring that nonsense to the table nonsense. I don't care about that nonsense. You understand? Listen, I always preach on this channel. You bring individual, you're talking about individualism, because when you get into the individual mindset, you're on self-preservation and you're on a way of helping yourself and improving yourself. It is not an easy journey. You know why that is? Because the fact of the matter is you have to depend on yourself. You have to look at yourself in the mirror and notice all the positive attributes about you and all the negative attributes, and how to fix those problems that you have to become more of an efficient man. It doesn't matter how much money you have. It doesn't matter what your status is. Individualism is very important for each man in this society. I don't care what no one tells you. Before we get on these long-winded diatribes about modern-day women and this, that, and the third, I recommend that to every single man. This is why I have these conversations sometimes and I get bugged out why dudes want to sit up there and get back into discussions that don't even matter. Dudes want to sit up there and spend their week, every other week they're sitting up there talking about fat women and Lizzo. Come on, man. If you know you don't like a Lizzo, why would you talk about her? If you don't like the chick with the weave and chick with the this, that, and the third, man, shut up. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to hear all that. You know what I mean? Yes. I'm glad you say that, bro. The older guys in the space is doing the most foolery. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. These dudes are divorced. These dudes inside there had kids. And next thing you know, they talking to some rebellious Keisha. Because I'm only calling them Keisha based on their attitude. Because there's certain women that's respectful. But you know what I mean when I say Keisha. They talk to Keisha, knowing how Keisha is, and then sit up there and bring that whole entire conversation into community talk. You understand me? Like, you'll see that and you'll just be like, bro, like, why did we get back into this dumbass discussion about this shit? This just wasn't even important. What? Like, why did you waste time on this? Shout outs to 1Gs. Peace, 1Gs. But, oh, jerk chicken and a spliff. Yes, fam. Yes, bro. Jerk chicken. What's the other one they have? Curry chicken. Look, Ken, you know we from New York, bro. So every time we have these Caribbean talks, bro, I'd be thrilled to do it, bro. Cause shit, set a brother up with some roadie though. You feel what I'm saying? Set a brother up with some doubles. You know what I mean? I haven't had curry goat yet, but I'm just saying, on those regards, bro, you know what the vibes is. Shout outs to all my Caribbeans up in New York. You feel me? But getting back to what I'm talking about, these dudes is divorced. These dudes have kids. These dudes should be teaching dudes exactly how it was to be married. Because then you get the idea that these dudes do come into being incels. And they view every single woman they encounter to be not worth it. But then dudes lie to themselves because depending on how attractive that woman is, they'll have a different tone in speech, right? We know plenty of content creators that are female. And the fact of the matter that they're attractive, maybe they have those thirst traps going on and all that other stuff. And then guess what? Them dudes will switch their whole entire style up. They'll sit up there and say, yeah, you know how it is, girl. Because, you know, you so sexy, you so pretty, you so beautiful. And so I sit back and I be like, yo, y'all really are playing this narrative where y'all trying to be Mr. Alpha Dog, but y'all out here simping on some woman's panel. Like, come on. I don't want to hear the nonsense. So besides that, then these women know there's going to be more men coming over to their platform. They know that. So then moving on, and let's not forget tonight. Tonight I'm going to be showing like a video. I'm going to be showing. I swear to God, I should have loaded up my screen with the other stuff that I was going to talk about. We're going to talk about the Senate bill that was put out there. And then we're going to be talking about this other video from Hot 97. Hopefully both of them are like fair use, because I don't want nothing happening to my page. Maybe like cut my video off or whatever. But we'll get into that topic conversation in a little while. This is just a preset. So otherwise than that, what I'm talking about when I have these conversations, the whole entire Pookie and Ray Ray versus educated lame argument. Now, my whole entire thing about this is this. I ain't never been jealous of no Pookie and Ray Ray, the derelicts and the degenerates of society. And that made me think about this today, because I was thinking about this when I was walking outside. And do I necessarily, I don't want to say hate the Pookie and Ray Ray, Do I hate the Pookie and Ray Ray? Do I look at the Pookie and Ray Ray and be like, it'll get away from me? You are so ugly and so vain and this, that, and the third. I had to think about that today. I had to really dig deep inside of Bronzebird's beak. And I had to really think about it with all the feathers I had while I was flying around. I was like, do I really hate Pookies and Ray Rays? No. I don't. I see, there's a lot of brothers that come into that lifestyle, right? You know they sell drugs, but every time you see them, there's a level of respect you have for fellow man. So the thing about it is, if I see them on the streets and they doing no good, that's them and their business. My business is, yo, you say what up to me, I say what up to you. You understand what I'm saying? We can have a conversation about certain things that we both agree on. And so we don't have to get into this whole entire spat, like, look at you and look at me. You know, I'm more educated than you. You don't read books, Negro. You don't know who you are. You just a Pookie. You a Ray Ray. And guaranteed, you're not going to go outside and have a conversation with these brothers and call them a Pookie and Ray Ray. You're not going to go outside and say that to them. You're not going to sit up there and call some lame dude who sit up there selling drugs and listen to drill music with his pants sagging a damn Pookie and Ray Ray. You're not going to do that outside this YouTube stuff or just in the virtual sphere in general. You're talking about the thugs, man. You're talking about the thugs. And my thing about it is there's a level of decorum you have. And when things get a little bit too toxic, you just walk away or you just don't acknowledge them. You just be like, hey, that's them and their business. But then also the idea of the educated lame is about sitting up there having that educated lame victimize himself. Because he's getting all the pussy and you ain't. He's sitting up there taking down all the panty drawers and you sitting up there mad because this woman won't give you attention. You didn't even understand individualism. The fact of the matter is just your swag, the way that you carry yourself. You could be the bummiest dude on the block. And I'm talking about, you don't have to be fashion friendly. I mean, God damn it. I'll even mention myself for a second. Target be having some dope ass clothes. And I'll be sitting up there going to Target and sitting up there getting some clothes out there, some nice button-up shirts and some chinos and this, that, and third, and call it a day, fam. And then, of course, Urban Outfitters and a couple of other places when it comes to wardrobe. I don't care in wearing Gucci. I don't care in wearing Balmain. I don't care wearing, like, Supreme. I don't care about none of that nonsense. G-Star, jeans, and this, that, and the third. I have no reason to show off to anyone. And I mean, I do get the factor that you do have these certain quote-unquote Pookies and Ray Rays that use materialism as their clutch to say, I am the man because of look at what I wear. See, when you have class, there's a certain way you carry yourself. I didn't see dudes hop up on a subway and wear their best outfits. And I'll be sit up there looking at the brother like, you shouldn't even be on a train. You should be in an Uber. Those are sneakers I haven't even seen before. And you want to train with that? Especially those customized Jordans, brother? Okay, I see you, but why are you on public transportation with that on? Go take a nice Uber. Especially if you're taking a chick home, order up that Uber. Order up that Lyft and take that chick home and pound it out and do what you got to do. You got the chains around your neck and you just coming from the club? Get in that Uber. Or if you have, and I mean, it depends on where you live, of course, because in New York, we have subways and streets all over the place. Got you. But when you have class, there's just certain things you're not going to do. You're not going to go show up to certain places on public transportations. Now, the thing about it is the mindset of materialistic men, especially if they're coming from the hood, they just want to be able to look like a power signal just because of the fact of the matter they're wearing nice clothes or they're wearing these brands that's so luxurious and they're high in value. You understand? That's the mindset of them. And the thing about me is that hey, get it. Yo, you ever see those Balenciaga sneakers that look like moon shoes? I swear to God, them joints look like moon shoes. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. What's really weird to me about fashion real quick, you have dudes that's wearing skin tight ass jeans, still sagging them, and then wearing these moon shoes, these Balenciaga sneakers. And then like, how do you pay hundreds of dollars for shit wear? And then you hopping up on a bus on a crowded bus, that is, and you mad because somebody gonna step on your pair of sneakers. Well, bro, you came out here, sit up there coming in some long ass trench coat and some long ass coat, and you hop your ass on a bus and hop your ass on a train. And what you thought? People wasn't gonna brush up against you? Like, bro, where's your priorities? That's why I say, bro, you better hop in that Uber. You got enough money to go get from point A to point B. You know how expensive it is in New York, and your ass can't sit up there and get a goddamn Uber to get from where you need to go. Don't worry, pay that $20, pay that $40 to $50, you'll be fine. And if you don't have enough money, you'll get it back in your tax return. You understand? So nah, man. And that's why I say the priorities is different, man. If I'm gonna roll out, I'm gonna roll out in fucking style, man. I'm gonna be sitting up there hopping that damn Uber. You understand? Like, that's just not me. But that's just the mindset I get. So going back into these quote unquote Pookies, Ray Rays, and this, that, and the third, like, dudes be like, yo, you stepped on my drip, son. You stepped on my drip. You know how much these cost is, my nigga? And you just be sitting here like, bro, they cost you whatever, bro. Why are you here? Bro, I'm wearing my most filthiest Nikes. And you mad at me because you decided to come on the train with them bullshits on. And that's what I mean. Look, listen, I've always been the type of dude that really don't care for fashion like that. Like, I don't mind getting fly in my own ways of getting fly to going out to certain events. But the way that I act and the way I carry myself, it doesn't matter what I wear because I already dress different. So it doesn't mean anything for me. But enough of me right now. I don't want to get into this whole entire narcissism and all this other stuff. I want to keep it more to where I want to keep it so I can get into these videos for tonight. But getting back to what I'm talking about, I don't understand the mindset of these older brothers that did that whole entire panel when this woman obviously doesn't care. Then shout out to this dude named Kevin who has a YouTube channel about the fact of the matter that they mentioned about how a guy cooks for that woman. And my thing about it is, as men, we should obviously know how to cook. I don't like when dudes want to sit up there and talk about, you gotta be feminine. You gotta be feminine. You gotta cook me up a hot meal and this, that, and the third. I mean, under certain pretenses, we do know what the woman's job is. She's a nurturer. The man is the go-getter. He goes out in society, he does what he does, and comes back home and goes ahead and comes back with the resources. The women are made to nurture. So then get into that conversation. I don't find anything wrong with a man cooking, especially if he's cooking for his woman. I don't find there to be a problem with that. I mean, a man should already know how to cook on his own anyway. There should be no reason why you out here. No problem. It's no reason why this man should be out here. And the fact of the matter is he doesn't know how to cook. Every man should know how to cook. But enough of me. I'm blanking out quickly. I want to get to the video so I can tell you what's going on in my world of things and, you know, all these other things. Give me a second, family. I'm going to go ahead and load this up. Give me 1 second. All right, y'all, my fault. Hold on, my fault. I was trying to get the vid up. So what we're gonna be touching on tonight, just so I can give you a perspective about what I'm talking about in terms is there's this rapper named Fivio Foreign from New York, and okay, yeah, I'm good. So there's a rapper by Fivio Foreign in New York, and so what I was talking about was the increase of crime in New York, right? And about how they're trying to draft these bills about how they want Congress, whoever in New York City, to give more of a direction on drill music, since this is a part of the reason they feel as if the increase in New York is happening. Why do I relate this to the Pookie and Ray Ray conversation? Because we obviously know that the content of music is supposed to be geared towards a target audience. That would mean that today's popular music and mainstream music is geared towards the quote unquote Pookies and Ray Rays. And also because I love music, I have these conversations because this is very important to me. Now, before we get into this conversation, a lot of people say the music of today, because back in my day and blah, 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 and it's a lackluster conversation. It's frivolous at best. Why is that? Because each generation had some level of degeneracy, and a lot of people don't like to talk about that. Yeah, in the 70s and the 80s, it was all about how, you know, I was coming up and I got out of the struggle and all this other stuff, but then people was praising those those blaxploitation films. Yeah, but and yes, Kenan, you're absolutely right, Kenan. But what I'm saying is like each generation had their own nonsense. Like especially like in the early 1900s when jazz came in, everybody loves to talk about how jazz was so great, but jazz was being revered as devil's music in the early 1900s. Am I right? Am I wrong? And then besides that, though, I mean, obviously, you know, stars that literally sold their soul. Like Robert Johnson is a prime example of a musician that sold his soul. So, I mean, a lot of this conversation geared towards music. I'm not going to say music is an evil thing. No, it's not. But people use it to the good or they can use it to the bad. It's always the left and the right side of things. So it's very remarkable to me that everybody wants to sit up there and say drill, 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 drill. And I don't like drill. I don't like Brooklyn drill, especially when dudes like Tekashi 6ix9ine came out. I was like, what the fuck is this? Who is this clown? I have not been a fan. I have not liked no rapper like him ever. But this Brooklyn drill scene and dudes being on it, you have these young teenage kids who sit up there talking about, yeah, son, I got a gun, and y'all some ops and this, that, and the third. I sit there and I'd be like, this shit is trash. Like, this is trash. And I'm not going to sit up there and say the generation in the 90s was better, because they was not. In the 90s, they were sitting like, bro, I'm cognizant of the music I play as well. You understand what I'm saying? I'm very cognizant of that. But the music in the 90s wasn't helping as well, right? You get into, it was what, like backpack rap, but then it was gangster rap. And then when you get into 2000s, it was the same thing, but then you brought in more of the sexual element into it. So we was degrading women. And then obviously after that, it was trap. And then now we in a drill phase. And this is all programmed. You understand what I'm saying? So don't come to me with this whole entire stuff like, y'all generation. No, it's each generation. Each generation has its level of discrepancy, degeneracy there is. But anyway, let me load up the screen so y'all can see exactly what I'm talking about. So we can get into this and we can have a conversation about this. So this is the video right here. I hope you guys can see it. You guys can see it? Put a 1 in the chat if you guys can see it. Oh, you can't? You guys see it? All right, you guys can see it because I can see it. Okay, let's play the vid. Hold up.
How was your meeting tonight?
Well, it was good meeting. It was good meeting. We doing everything positive. You know what I mean? Because it be love that. See, be love. We doing this the drill community, and I know like the police and everybody, and they be looking at like niggas starting trouble, and niggas ain't really starting trouble. They trying to feed their kids. They trying to take away the drill music off the radio. They trying to stop it from being on the radio.
They're not entirely trying to stop drill music. They're trying to police it, and what is it that you can and you cannot talk about. And I mean, look, I already decided it was trash. I already decided it deserves to be thrown in the trash can. Whether you're influenced by Chicago or you're influenced by UK, because more of this drill music is going around the world, especially with gangs picking this up in other places, right? And so my thing about it is I hate that whole entire sentiment people try to say like, oh, this is about feeding my kids, about feeding the, trying to get out the hood so we could do something different. That is always a trope young brothers like this one always says, and I don't fall for it. Because the fact of the matter is, the devil will grant you your wishes as long as you do his dirty work. Let me say that again. The devil will grant you your wishes as long as you do his dirty work. So I don't want to hear that nonsense about, oh, it's just about getting out the hood. And when I say getting out the hood is good, yeah. I mean, if you want a better life and you want to be able to be away from the hustle and bustle of the city every day, yes, then getting out the hood is definitely essential.
And we having meetings with the Bronzebird president, T.T. Torres, Pop Smoke Mom, T.I. Mom. We have a meeting with everybody and trying to let them know it's not the music that's killing people. It's the music that's helping from the hood get out the hood.
How the fuck is drill music helping dudes get out the hood? Why? Because the fact of the matter, they're able to rap bullshit on the radio, get a goddamn deal, and then all of a sudden they're just like, well, you made this, that, and the third. Still getting messed up by these industries, by the way, because you know exactly how it goes in this industry. Why they market it so much to young kids? Because young kids are not going to read the contracts. They're not going to go ahead and understand what's in the contract and what they have to do to make sure that they stay afloat as an artist. That's what usually happens. So you get these advancements, you go ahead and do all these records and this, that, and the third. It's no guarantee if you're going to stay in there. But that's not even getting to the fact of the matter. We're going to be talking about those quote unquote rituals that you have to fulfill in order to be a rap star. Let's not talk about those because those are also mentioned, right?
Right. So we need that. If you take that from people gonna be in the hood killing each other and go crazy on each other.
They was killing each other before drill music. So how does drill music differ from exactly what you're talking about? That's nonsense.
So, let me circle back to this. So, that there is like a law that they're trying to enact that they want to use rap lyrics to prosecute rappers. And that Reform is doing something with that. What are your thoughts on that? How does this kind of like coincide with that?
To me, that don't make no sense because it's niggas out there that don't even write their own music. So if you
exactly, the ghostwriters are sent in by these industry people because they know how to brand an artist. They want to give them a false facade and a false image so that they can make you believe that artist is really from the streets. Marketing at the end of the day, but that still does not justify the means and what this dude is talking about. I refuse to believe that. It doesn't justify it at all.
You going to indict this and would light up off their music, then that means you got to go lock Denzel up for being a bad cop in Training Day.
That doesn't make any sense. And we all know there's a difference between acting, which both of y'all are doing. Denzel Washington is actually reading off a script and acting. You're pretending like you're living a lifestyle you don't so that you can influence the people that live in the neighborhood. So I'm not taking that. I'm not falling for that whole entire nonsense rhetoric that he's talking about. The reason I go so hard about drill artists and rappers because they tell on themselves. Prime example, Bobby Shmurda did that dumbass shit. When he sat up there and put all that music out in 2014, it was like, boo, 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 boo. Yeah, nigga, like, you knew that. Bro, whatever that GS9 crew and then Tekashi 6ix9ine with the whole entire scandal he was putting in, bro, all of that was y'all snitching on yourselves and sit up there talking about how you like to do that lifestyle, even if it wasn't you directly, it was one of your friends and one of your colleagues. So no, I'm not, no. Dudes are tell on themselves in their music. I don't want to hear that.
You gotta go, it's like, you gotta lock up you gotta hold them accountable too. You can't just act like and target niggas because niggas making music and they feel like that's the lowest form of entertainment. Why they rich? Why they buying these cars? Why they got this much? It just, I don't fuck with that. You know what I mean?
Man, look. Before I get into that, I just call a complete
EAP. Cap. 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 Cap.
And why I call it a cap? Because yes, there are dudes that be living their rhymes. Yes, that's absolutely 100% true. But the fact of the matter is, you know the influence from those raps. You know what it institutes for the everyday, especially the everyday so-called black boy that live in the neighborhood. I don't give a damn if he was raised by a single mother or he was raised with both his parents. You know the emotionality of that young boy. If he gets trapped into that whole entire mind frame, he's going to want to go out there and do some type of crime. You know that. So having this conversation and saying, oh, no, that's not fair and blah, blah, blah. Like, I'm for freedom expression. I'm not one to sit up there and say you can't talk about what you're talking about. I'm not going to ever say you should be limited to what you're talking about, because it's a lot of people out here who not only make degrading music, not just rap. Let me be fair. I'm not going to just say it's rap, because a lot of brothers will bring up heavy metal and all these different things. I will say it's also that as well, right? But my whole entire thing is, I don't want to hear this whole entire thing about how drill music in particular, like, oh, you gotta stop blaming us. And nah, yo, it's a cap. It's a complete cap. Okay, I'm not falling for it. And so, moving on to what I wanted to talk about tonight, New York has also drifted a bill. Like I told you, it's called S7527. They drilled this bill. They famous artists like Jay-Z signed it. Robin Thicke, surprisingly, a so-called white man, signed it. There was a couple of other artists that signed the bill. And so I'm just gonna go over the tenements about it, and we'll just have a thought-out discussion. Maybe I might show another video, maybe I might not. I don't know yet, but it's just very important to me to just understand this and then just, be able to just get this over with. So this is the bill that was drafted by the New York State Senate. And what it says in the Senate bill, S7527, for the 2021 and 2022 legislative session, limits the admissibility of evidence of a defendant's creative or artistic expression against such defendant in a criminal proceeding. So this is the status of where it's at right now. Introduced in committee on floor calendar, and this is where they're probably debating about it. Then it goes with the Senate in assembly, whether they agree or disagree with it, delivered to the governor, and then signed or vetoed. You know what I mean? I don't know what's gonna happen with that. It's like playing for keeps. We just see what happens, and then that's it. But hold on. And this is another thing I forgot to mention, because this pisses me off as well. You know who's the true enablers of these thought-provoking music? The older generation. Like, it'd be so many, like, I get it that a lot of people mean well and they want to be able to see dudes be productive, right? And it's like they have cognitive dissonance to what exactly the content of what that music is. So they'll sit up there and say, yo, we got to get our brothers out the streets. We got to get them to do something else. And they always recommend music, which I don't have a problem with. I love music. I love music for what it is. Like, I do my own and this, that, and the third. I love music. No problem. You want to bond with people? You can always use music as a tool and an instrument to bond, right? But this is the problem with the enablers, especially the older generation that lives in the neighborhood. They skip over the content and they'll just sit up there and say, well, at least they ain't our brothers on the streets. At least they in the studio. That's not the point. That's not the point. Y'all are so eager to connect with these youth and sit up there and think just because it's popular that you can just agree with it. And you can't have a conscience as someone who's wiser and older and know this is some complete BS that they're putting that content in that child's brain. You see, I'm not mad at us connecting with rap music, but if you're going to have a program on helping these youth stay out the streets, you should be teaching them how to play instruments. You should. If you want to expose them to something so that they can become crafty, obviously you have coding programs as well and other programs where children can learn something so they don't have to worry about guns and all these different things. The core curriculum of the problem is not having accessibility to jobs or not challenging young so-called black men to have efficient jobs. And I know it's hard in this environment. I know specifically it's hard in New York City because certain people don't agree with the syringe mandate. I mean, I don't even like exactly what Mayor de Blasio did and what Eric Adams is carrying over, because that could be another reason why these so-called black men is out here committing crimes. I don't agree with the syringe mandate. I don't agree with that. But getting back, before that even happened, there should be more outlets and more music programs that doesn't just involve rap music so that you can get these kids to be expanded to something else. You're not going to just sit here and tell me that a so-called black man's mind should just be focused on rap music when you have various genres of music that so-called black men could be learning right now. You understand? Like, bro, me and my homie always talk about how they have drum and bass. Drum and bass is like one of the dopest genres of music. You have chiptune, you have 8-bit, you have vaporwave, you have all these different things where you still could sample, you can still create some thought-provoking music out of it. And just for an example, the vaporwave that I was playing earlier was the first song that I played. The first song I played in this live is a vaporwave song. Okay? That's the first thing I played. So going back to what I'm saying, in order to go ahead and change the mind of the youth, you have to expose them to stuff that's different, okay? I want to be able to see a young so-called black kid who could rip it up on a violin, who could rip it up on a flute, who could rip it up on these different instruments, these pianos, the keyboard, and all these different things. Create a band. Why are we not inspiring the youth to have something different? Why does it always just have to be rap music? I mean, you could use that as a base, but don't think for a second that has to be the end-all be-all. Let's have these children be exposed to different things, and let's take it back to instrumentation. Because to be honest with you, I don't want to be on a computer staring at the screen all day, making about 10 beats or 5 beats and this, that, and the third. I want to also incorporate some instrumentation into it too. You understand what I'm saying? And you're right, Felicia. I can't stand mumble rap either. I don't like it. I mean, look, my thing is, there's also something in that too, because it's not even about the lyrics anymore. What is it about though? Say it with me. It's about the beats. Okay? Everybody wants to focus on the beats. They don't want to focus on that anymore. So the thing about it is, as long as the beat is hot, the producer plays a pivotal role on how that song is going to be marketed. Okay? But even still with that, the beats nowadays are so generic, because it's like with the beats that you hear, you're hearing literally 808s and 808s only, right? So you hear the 808s, a regular piano roll, some type of funky bass that they put on there, and then, of course, the kick and the snare, okay? Then the hi-hats. Like, that's exactly what you see when it comes to these raps. And as much as I'm not really I'm not a big connoisseur of drill music, I will say the UK inspired beats I like. I like the UK inspired beats, and I'm not going to even shred bits on trap. Trap, they can have some amazing trap music. You know what I'm saying? But we're not offering, first of all, the music industry, and they do this purposely. they're not having artists be diverse. Their idea of diverse is picking up a beat from someone like DJ. What's the brother's name from the brother from that used to rhyme, that used to be rolling with that dude in the 90s. I forgot his name. Guru. The dude that used to be rolling with Guru. I forgot his name. His name escapes me. But that DJ, they believe if you get like a 90s-esque beat, that's you being diverse. No. That's not what being diverse is. Nobody's asking you to always have to feel like you have to go that route, but it would be nice if some of your songs was like that as an artist. I think a real artist will expose different sides of themselves artistically. They're not going to just show you one side. They're going to give you a surprise like, whoa, I didn't know he could really do this. This is really how he is. This is really how she is. And what you're dealing with in this culture, whether regardless of race, you're dealing with two fronts. The men are supposed to serve as the gangster aesthetic, and the women are supposed to serve as the hypersexual aesthetic. That's what you're getting in your society. So y'all know I do this rant because I really care and because I just love music. But I mean, going into that Pookie and Ray Ray argument, that's why I wanted to bring it up. I'm ranting so much I didn't even realize I had the intermission thing still on. Like, why y'all tell me? It wasn't really important. It's okay. But okay, we're gonna get into the actual Senate bill itself now, and we're gonna talk about this really quickly. And then I may play a video so we can get into this from Hot 97 because they played some crazy stuff. Now, what it says right here in the state of New York in Senate, this was proposed November 17, 2021. And again, this was also something that was signed by someone like Jay-Z, Robin Thicke, and a couple of other rappers and musicians. They agreed with this. So if you look at this on your screen right now, I'm going to read this right now so you guys can get a frontal view of what I'm talking about. Introduced by Senator Holman Bailey, read twice and ordered printed. And when printed, okay, never mind. That doesn't matter. Okay, so let's get to the sections of what it says. So in section 1, it says, the criminal proceeding law is amended by adding a new section 60.77 to read as follows. 60.77 rules of an evidence, admissibility of evidence of defendant's creative expression. Number 1, evidence of a defendant's creative or artistic expression, whether original or derivative, may not be received into evidence against such defendant in a criminal proceeding unless such evidence is determined by the court to be relevant and admissible. After an offer of proof by the proponent of such evidence outside the hearing of the jury or such hearing as the court may require, and an on the record statement by the court of the findings of fact essential to its determination. Number 2, in order to overcome the presumption of inadmissibility of evidence of defendant's creative expression, the proffering party must affirmatively prove by clear and convincing evidence, A, literal rather than figurative or fictional, meaning and where the work is derivative, that the defendant intended to adopt the literal meaning of the work as the defendant's own thought or statement. B, a strong factual nexus indicating that the creative expression refers to the specific facts of the crime alleged. C, relevance to an issue of fact that is disputed. And D, distinct probative value not provided by other admissible evidence. Where the court admits creative expression as criminal evidence, the court has a duty to apply careful redactions, provide limiting instructions, and consider the least prejudicial means of presenting the creative expression to the fact finder. Y'all still with me? All right, cool. This is the last one. Section 2, Section 1.20 of the criminal proceeding law is amended by adding a new subdivision 46 to read as follows. 46, creative expression means the expression or application of creativity or imagination in the production or arrangement of forms, sounds, words, movement, or symbols, including but not limited to music, dance, performance art, visual art, poetry, literature, film, or other subject of such objects or media. This act shall take effect immediately. So, you see exactly what they said on that Senate, that even the rapper Jay-Z signed, okay? Jay-Z signed this shit, okay? Yo, I'm telling you, look, I'm only here to give my perspectives, y'all. And the thing about it is that, yes, a lot of dudes tell on themselves in music. They tell on themselves. They talk about their gang affiliation. And my thing about it is I'm not surprised if they get locked up. That's on them. They do this on purpose. So you want me to have a different mindset because these dudes out here are doing stupid shit? Why the fuck would I care? They decided to do that. You understand what I'm saying? So why is that on me? I'm sorry, y'all. I know I'm all over the place. I should have had this all set up. But yeah, man, like this like that's crazy to me, yo. Okay, hold on. I have the video, y'all. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna go ahead and play this out loud. Y'all still rocking with me? Y'all still rocking with me? Cool. So this is the last video I'm gonna play, and then we can get out of here, okay? So I'm gonna share my screen again so we could talk about this. We can have a discussion. So, all right, bet. Here it is. All right, we good. And with that though, we also take into account that music relating to that. These dudes really don't care about the impact. You know, they'll sit up there and lie. They'll be like, yo, we just trying to do music, man. We just trying to do music. They don't look at the outlasting effect. And that literally you're recruiting people to be on that gang nonsense. DJ Drewski, and just for, I'm live right now, but I did a video on that. Y'all can check out my YouTube page when I sat there and I said, are DJs responsible for changing the culture? I did a commentary on that. Just so you understand that. I did a commentary on that. DJ Drewski, who works at Hot 97, was one of those DJs that sat there and said that.
Remember, right. That YouTube and these things to get a record deal, making the music, whatever, you know, straight hustle.
Yes.
It's not about music.
All right. My fault, y'all. There was a segment where Ebro was sitting up there talking about, and I have to do it because this was talking about New York, where he was sitting up there talking about how I blame New York, especially when y'all took on Tekashi 6ix9ine coming onto the scene. Like, y'all took the heaviest L and y'all kept trying to promote that dude, and I just wasn't with it. And y'all got all mad at me because I wasn't trying to promote that dude Tekashi. And I agree. I wasn't even trying to support that dude Tekashi, yo. Like, even my family members was like supporting him low key, and I'm like, y'all support this rainbow dude? Who the like? Why do you see Tekashi is corny? I believe in my heart of hearts, Tekashi was an industry plant, without a shadow of a doubt. That dude was an industry plant, okay. And so y'all can convince me otherwise. Y'all can sit up there and say, "Oh no, he wasn't." You don't know what an industry plant is. An industry plan is not just something they just pull out of thin air, okay? This is not new that they have an industry plant. But Tekashi 6ix9ine was definitely an industry plant, in my view, without a shadow of a doubt, and that's how I say it, okay? So that's my main thesis on that. I just wanted to touch on that really quickly and, you know, applying this along with the whole entire Pookie and Ray Ray argument, because everything can coincide with each other without even knowing it. You understand? So that's my odds on that. I don't even have any last words, to be honest, but that's just my odds on everything. Yeah. 6ix9ine is corny, man. Like, like, you know, you all right, Felicia, you ever notice this though? Like, his titles sound like it's a nursery rhyme. Maybe it's just me. But you ever, like, he has a song called Gooba, then he has a song called Fifi, TT, and this, that, and the third. And I'm like, what is this, nursery rhymes? Like, you ever notice that? Like, his songs literally sound like it's nursery rhymes, man. Like, that's what it sounds like to me. But, you know, that's just what I see fit. And my thing about it is, like I said, I don't like listening to music of today. I don't. And I'm talking primarily mainstream music because it's corny, right? Yeah, exactly. I don't like listening to mainstream music of today. Like there are certain artists that pick out that's still pretty cool right now, or it's been cool for like the last couple of years. And especially when you're dealing with the politics of New York, you know, still being like one of the main industries of music to get heard here, they're playing by different rules. They're not trying to put on New York artists out there. And if they are trying to put on New York artists is trying to go out their way to sound like everybody else. So that's where we lose the battle, because now you're doing 1520 Sedgwick Avenue a disservice. And if you don't know what I'm talking about when I say 1520 Sedgwick Avenue, look it up. But otherwise than that, relating this back into the Pookie and Ray Ray versus educated lame argument, the point of the educated lame argument is we're supposed to change the educated lame into the enlightened one, right? The enlightened, the one that's supposed to be looked at as a king, or someone who's supposed to be taken as seriously. That's why you'll never hear me say out my mouth, I'm an educated lame. You will never hear me say that. I don't refer to myself as a Pookie or Ray Ray either. It doesn't matter the environment you come from, but we do have an understanding that in the inner cities, that when it comes to these cities, you're going to find more of a cesspool of these quote unquote degenerates, right? And the thing about it is, you have to be the one to take it upon yourselves to look at yourselves and look at the actions and pull yourself up by your bootstraps and say, hey, I'm not like them. And it's okay to be a loner and separate from those that don't have the same type of mindset as you. And the thing about it is that the problem with those older dudes on that panel that happened a couple of days ago, their whole entire thing is to make it seem like they got one up on those dudes. And my thing is, I don't care. That's them and their bullshit. I'm more concerned about me and then people who think like me. Men that think like me so we can collaborate, do business, and, you know, basically come together and do something. I meant to say that. My words is twisting up, y'all. Form a bond. Yes, form a bond. So otherwise than that, that's my thought process on it. But, you know, the whole entire Pookie and Ray Ray argument just pissed me off. And I'm just like, yo, y'all can't be serious. It's like y'all trying to negotiate with women who don't care. They decide exactly who they want to sleep with and who they want to be in a relationship with. That whole entire high value man thing, I don't even care about that either. Like, I'm just like, look, whatever you want to say, you think, believe in this, that, and third, because half you dudes are not high value. So, like, come on, man. It's okay to be average. That's the thing that a lot of people miss too. It's okay to be average. As long as you're working on yourself and you're moving towards a better place in life, that's what matters. And even if you're in development, that's more important than not being in development at all as a man. That's what you're supposed to do. But that's my time on that. I'm about to get on out of here. And y'all stay tuned for tomorrow, where I'm going to be having a music play out. It's going to be called Song Sparrow. So you guys can just chill with me, vibe with me in the comment section as I play music. And, you know, that's how we'll do. And then next week, I'll have my regular scheduled programs as usual and all these different things and blah, blah, blah. So otherwise than that, I'm going to get on out of here, play some music. Peace.
We should never feel the end. I know. Represent the goal. I can't think of it. Oh no. We should never feel the end. I know. Represent the goal. I can't think of it. Oh no. We should never feel the end. I know. Represent the goal. Doing shit worldwide.
Yeah, my bitch is super damn stupid with the simple shit. We used to hang out, I talk about it, use a list. You get the gist, I'm that nigga, I rap nigga. You small change, you wear change to feel bigger. Who you impressing yourself or all your friends? Is them niggas down there right into the end. Can't even trust your king, but it's like work. And y'all believe I fell in love with how this mic worked out. Don't you ignore the signals. Too many niggas out here laying on their crystals. Pray my brothers get that shit up off their mental. The money made it simple, but they place the hit gets controllers for years. For homeless niggas make them give up and trying to make sense. It's about balance like my niggas seafood salad. Pieces of bread, lead you to the real, don't build with the
I know we had some hard times, but fuck it, I spar rhymes for budgets. That Valentine love, that 50-yard line in my stomach, that butterfly. Ain't afraid to let the stars slide, kept me fly. Can't believe you got them carved mines for 100. The sun rise on my summit, thunder thigh like round cutie pie. I wonder why you say it for you and not. On low keeps the boats, we rolled up, speed on the low creek. Fuck bitches on knees, lust after my visa. $5 box from Little Caesar. Still love the gully pro, no 3-piece. She off the GP, drunk as fuck. We make a piece, stream paper and steam. At KFC, wait on steam for the 3-piece. My bitch do the dishes. Me and this nigga look through the duet. The shift too exquisite. I spit it screaming, you next G. Picture count off the jet ski like you blessed me. White grapes with they fetch me. I love your style and how you don't smile. Except for when a nigga go down and throw you the stroke wild. Nowadays I'm out of SoCal, reminiscing what it could have been. Maybe I should roll out and make it what it should have been. I never cheated for the record back when I was with my finest bitch. Vagina lips sweeter than all the chocolates. My body bitch been with a nigga since 2006. Way before I ever caught the zip. So why you acting like a bitch? Yo, why you acting like a bitch? I said, why you acting like a bitch? Yeah, bitch.